Welcome to Comfort Effect number 2. I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf. I got a late start. I made excuse me, maybe 3 or 4 TikToks. Why can't I find the zipper? Because it's the mess. That's why I can't find the zipper. I was unzipping the wrong damn zipper. Okay, so I made 3 or 4 TikToks in this suit. So this video is going to be a lot shorter than I wanted it to be because it's almost 1 a.m. And though I don't have to work tomorrow, I'm still tired as fuck. I did work today. Okay, so we're going to talk about the Mandela Effect, or the Mandela Effect. So I'm going to mention some shit that either other people remember or I have slipped into this dimension of Earth and I can't find my way back home. Not that I'm not happy where I am, but only because I have a crush on the awesomely beautiful and dangerously sexy Zeta Zhang. Now, the only way I would leave this plane of existence is if I'm married to her in another plane of existence. Then I would be in my wits of getting the fuck back home. But, alright. So, there are many different theories of the Mandela Effect. Alright? And it really didn't dawn on me until I started looking into it. Then I got to thinking about some of my memories, why they're different from everybody else's memories. Like, my childhood fights. Very few people remember them under my childhood name of Jonah. Very few people remember me. I remember learning martial arts from 7 to 8 at what once was Mary Stakes, and now God only knows what it is, but nobody else remembers that shit. I remember it. That goes back to the girl in kindergarten named Jillian. How I remember her, but when I look through the kindergarten pictures, she's not there. Okay? I'm serious as fuck about this. She is not there. She's half Eskimo and half white, but she's not in that fucking picture. Like, at all. The face I remember seeing isn't there. Okay? Now, we all know that the Challenger blew up at about the same time Back to the Future came out. Or somewhere in there. I remember the Challenger because I was sitting in Miss Conrad class. And I remember very well at Burley Moran. I remember that shit. I haven't forgotten. And here's where shit gets sticky. Alright? So earlier today, I was Googling shit, and I decided to Google slapstick from the Marvel Universe. So, unless there was some major league retconning done, slapstick came out way before 1992, but the Marvel Archives only have him from 92. And I remember him being created by Franklin Richards because he was like a toddler, and he didn't have a friend, so he made an imaginary friend, therefore being slapstick. That's the slapstick I remember. No one else knows this shit. And it's like when I ask people, they're like, no, slapstick came out in 92, he's such and such and such and such. I'm like, no, dude. I fucking remember Franklin Richards, like before the Secret Wars, or during the Secret Wars, the first Secret Wars, not the second Secret Wars, that Franklin Richards literally made an imaginary friend named Slapstick. Because Slapstick had all kinds of other shit going on. He could be erased by a pencil, all kinds of shit. He wasn't immortal, but he wasn't really alive, and he wasn't from fucking Dimension X. He was from Franklin Richards' fucking imagination, because he literally popped him into existence. And when I looked at it on Google, and when I looked at it in the Marvel Archives, it's like this shit never fucking happened. Now, I know it could have been retconned, and I'm asking anybody else who remembers Franklin Richards creating Slapstick. Because when I Google slapstick, Google has no knowledge of him having any connection to Franklin Richards. You see where I'm going? Mandela Effect, maybe? Now, I know I've had a couple of concussions, but I remember Franklin Richards in the Fantastic Four, the Baxter Building, making slapstick. And I'm not a big Fantastic Four fan, but I remember that comic book. I remember literally picking it up and reading it because it came out in the mid-'80s, possibly the early, but like between 82 and 84. Because the Secret Wars, the first one was between 82 and 86, I think. And the second one was between 86 and 80, 84, 84 and 86, 82 and 84, and 84 and 86. So they had two secret wars. Then they did it again in more modern time. Just like the first Clone Wars was in 1975, where you get introduced to Ben Reilly. But supposedly he died, but he didn't. He went off. And, in Marvel, time is not so much a thing as it is in our world. Now, finally, one of the things that has been eating me up for years is the death of Freddie Mercury. I graduated high school in 1993. I remember Freddie Mercury dying when I was in middle school. I believe I was in Walker. I believe I was in 6th grade, and that was like late 80s. Yeah, like 87, somewhere in there, 88, 87, somewhere in there. I don't remember him dying in the 90s. I remember him dying in the 80s. So, like I said, I'm either having a really good episode of the Mandela Effect, or I am one of these people who has hopped dimensions and don't know how I hop dimensions. And the thing is, there have been other people who have said the same shit, just not the Freddie Mercury, not slapstick. And there have been radio stories or whatever on YouTube, and I've stumbled across them. I don't have them here to show you, but there was a woman who claimed she fell through a dimensional wormhole or some shit, and everything is exactly the same. Her husband is the same. Everything is the same, but everything she remembers about this world is not the same. Now, I remember things in this world that is there, and they're still there, and I can point them out to people. But the specific memories of slapstick and the death of Freddie Mercury eat me up because I remember them differently from everybody else. So, before you write any comments or anything like that, I want you guys to Google the Mandela Effect. They had a test about boxes of cereal and shit and Fruit of the Looms, because I remember Fruit of the Looms having the horn with the fruit hanging out of it. And when you Google it, most people say that that's not how they remember Fruit of the Looms. I literally watched a video on YouTube about that shit. So I think I'm a victim of the Mandela Effect. I remember having concussions. I can tell you how I got my very first concussion. I was 5 fucking years old. I thought that I was William Cat, the greatest American hero, because I had curly hair. And when you're a kid, you don't really see skin color and all that other shit. You're just a kid. So my mom had this green Maverick. His name was Larry. So I decided the day before, I got me a little cape, which was really a bed sheet. And I threw that son bitch on, tied a little cheap little baby knot. I did exactly what I'm doing right now. Got that damn thing in there. And it's a big sheet. It's a white sheet. So I said, okay, in the TV show last night, he took 5 or 3 steps and he leaped. I decided I'm going to take 5 steps, but I'm going to take them off the top of my mom's car. From one angle to another angle, because, even though you're small, certain physics that you need to get the right amount of steps. So, as a small guy going from the top, going straight, I would have never got those 5 steps. I needed those 5 steps, so I went from the side, the rear panel of the side of the back of the car, ran up the hood, and I leaped. And I got 5 feet up, 5 feet out, and I had a 5-foot drop on a glass pop bottle. I went in the house and asked my mom, what's this red shit? I don't think I can show you the scar, but I can try to find it through all this thick stuff there. But there's a scar somewhere in here from where I got my first 3 stitches. I'm now going to shave my eyebrow to shade the scar. That's another reason why I keep these thick son bitches there, because there's a scar here from trying to fly. So I know that's how I got my first concussion. I'm pretty sure my second concussion happened in the 5th grade when me and Miss Early smacked heads playing football. And then I'm pretty sure my 3rd and 4th concussion happened with me and my cousin Brian, the late Omar Clark. I don't know what he changed his last name to when he went Muslim, but we were both bouncing back and forth across the bench at my Aunt Ruth Ann's house, and our forehead smacked. Irresistible force, immovable object. I was not the immovable object. I was the irresistible force. Brian was the immovable object, aka Omar. And our heads smacked. And he came with me as I went down because I believe he may have caught me after my head hit the ground and bounced. He's just a little bit bigger than me. Okay, he was a lot bigger than me. But we both had timed it out. We did it so many times before without so much as coming close to colliding. And then I guess one of us miscalculated. I'm going to take the heat for it because he's no longer breathing. We smacked heads. I went this way. He went this way. When I woke up, they had me holding my head with an ice pack. And I had a knot that swelled all the way across the forehead. So I know I've had at least 4 or 5 concussions. At least. So, because I've banged my head on some other shit once or twice too. But I don't think that it has messed up my memory that bad because I remember these shits in complete detail. But Slapstick and Freddie Mercury, I Googled their deaths. And what I have in my head does not match Google. So let me know if you guys think I'm the victim of a Mandela Effect or cross-dimensional. Maybe, here's another theory. Let's just go with this before I end the video. This is another theory. Maybe my memories are crossing over with memories of other me's from other dimensions. I know that shit sounds crazy. It sounds like some Slider shit. But if you're an avid comic fan or if you're a Star Trek fan, you understand how alternate timelines and alternate universes work in alternate worlds. So I've always believed in that shit since I started reading, and then Sliders helped out, and then they swear to God that there's another Earth on the other side of the sun that we just can't get to for some odd ass reason because it takes 365 years for the Earth to rotate all the way around the sun. 365 days, and it takes if you can live in space for a year to see if the other Earth comes around, where we have enough space coherency to like stay in that one spot against solar winds and all that shit until the Earth comes back around, and then the other Earth, our Earth, comes back around. That was the concept for Spider-Man Unlimited, by the way, also. So just go with that. But if you remember the movie The One with Jet Li, where every time he killed one of his other selves, he would grow stronger and he would have their memories and shit like that, and the other Jet Li would grow stronger and grow faster, etc., etc. And then they couldn't kill him because they'd have to kill them both, and one guy was innocent, so they sent him to the other prison. Now you guys remember that shit. But anyway, that being said, that shit could also be happening. God, I hope it's not, because I do not want to fight myself with this fucking hip and my inability to do kicks with my left leg. So, let's hope there's not another me running around killing other me's, because that would fucking suck. But just think of the concept of if you're getting memories from another you in another time and another space or whatever, or you were walking one day in your world and you woke up in a new world where everything is the same, but only you are different. And I kind of feel like that sometimes. So I think I'm suffering from the Mandela Effect. I'm not going to swear to it, but if you guys have any answers or if you have similar experiences, leave them in the comments. That being said, I'm Echo Fangray Wolf. This is Comfy Habit number 2. I'm going to bed, y'all. Be seeing you.